Yeah, they were full of dirty. Invoking the presence and compassion of our ancestors, in faith that we are Buddha, we enter Buddha's way. Homage to all Buddhas in the 10 directions. Homage to the complete Dharma in 10 directions. Homage to the endless Sangha in 10 directions. Homage to our first teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Homage to the single being succession of bodhisattvas and ancestors. Homage to Eihei Dogen Zenji. Homage to Shogaku Shunryu Dairosho. Homage to Shunbo Zenkai Blanche Hartman Daishi. Homage to Joko Beck Daishi. May their presence and compassion sustain us now. Let us recite the names of Buddha. Varyachana Buddha, pure Dharma Kaya. Varyachana Buddha, complete Sambhoga Kaya. Shakyamuni Buddha, myriad Nirmana Kaya. Maitreya Buddha of future birth. All Buddhas throughout space and time. Lotus of the wondrous Dharma, Mahayana Sutra. Manjushri Bodhisattva, great wisdom. Samahipatra Bodhisattva, great activity. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, great compassion. All honored ones, Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Mahaprajna, Mahamita. Welcome to the first formal Jukai ceremony offered within the Awakening Together Sangha. A group of students participated in the precept study completion ceremony, a larger group earlier. And this is the ceremony of formally receiving the Buddha's precepts and entering the liberating path of the Bodhisattva vow. We extend a special welcome to our honored guests. We have one of our esteemed sewing teachers, John Miller. We have online another of our esteemed Ann Johnson. We have visitors from various places who are with us now, both present and online. We offer our blessings to all the Jewish peoples during this time, their importance during this holiday. I want to say just a few words of introduction here at the beginning of the ceremony. These good disciples of Buddha began their journey by participating in the study program and leading a lot of it. They began sewing Buddha's robe. At some point, we're able, with the assistance of these teachers that we are mentioning here, to complete that project. This way that has been transmitted, personally transmitted, it's important to remember that. As part of the history of Buddha's robe, we talked about earlier in the Dharma talk. The practice of sewing and the life of the precept vows are intimately stitched together. This thread connects us directly to the Buddha to establish the original design of the robes, just as we sew them today. Week after week, month after month, year after year, I don't know. With patient effort, stitch by stitch, they completed their work. I think probably each of these students can affirm the profound teaching within this practice. So we turn to the formal ceremony now and honor the sincerity of their dedication and their relationship with the sewing teachers that brought them here. Walking the path of the Bodhisattva is accomplished through renunciation. All the Buddha ancestors of the Bodhisattva precept lineage have practiced and are still practicing renunciation of all attachments. Renunciation is the unsurpassable way of harmonizing body and mind with the Buddha way. When we relinquish attachments, we are free. We are Buddha. The meaning of the Bodhisattva precepts is in living them. To sustain and confirm the practice based on these precepts, I'll now give you Buddha's name and robe to clothe you throughout this life and in times to come. This will be your Dharma name, family, and clothing. So the order in which we are going to do things in several cycles will be for Ryan, to Emily, and to Chris, and to Liz. This has nothing to do with seniority or any other thing. It's the order in which they presented their koans during this Denko A, so we'll use that order. So I'd ask that you stand at the end of the bowing mat, do a standing bow, and then come around. Get a few notes here. Ryan, your name is Kakuo O Chi Shen, awakening response, spirit, heart. And I'll say a couple of things. For those of you that are unfamiliar, the first pair, first name, is typically something that the teacher might see in the student that comes forward quite easily. And the second is maybe a further maturation or expression or something that moves forward. Awakening response. Awakening, in this case, that particular kanji suggests a readiness, a fine sensory perception, and something that is aroused from deep inside that wakes up, and clear discernment. And a response, of course, is a response to that call for assistance, and a response that you make to the world to answer and accept. And we see this in Ryan, this awakening response that he both exhibits in the world and that, more importantly, you invite in the world. The spirit, heart, and that invitation and that response comes from his heart. The true spirit, atmosphere, nature, disposition of care and attention, which is a very deep call and a deep offering. awakening response, spirit heart. Emily, your new name is Koan Shoujun, fragrant cloud, truth pure-hearted. It's not so difficult to understand, is it? Fragrant, of course, is that scent of incense or the aroma of awakening, or truth, or presence, and how those things move in a cloud, a mist. It also has the quality, that kanji, of being erudite, of understanding. It's not just esoteric, but that fragrant cloud, there's something mysterious and soft about it. But truth, pure-hearted, there is a very proper, upright, precise, and true aspect that comes out of that cloud. That is pure-hearted. It sometimes means innocence, which of course you carry some of that, but it's more of being pure and clear, which then becomes the invitation for others also. Fragrant cloud, truth, pure-hearted. Christopher Johnson, and your other name that someone else gave you. He has done Jukai before, different church. The name that I'm offering you is Jiryu Hunan, Compassion Dragon, Universal Vow. I hope that those of you that know these people hear the echo. Compassion, of course, not just compassion, but mercy, charity, and benevolence, which moves through you. And of course, dragon, which has a quality of imperial carriage or awakening, but also a tornado, a whirlwind. There's another, that kanji also has to do with that energy. Compassion dragon. Universal, wide, extensive, but also ordinary, familiar. That kind of universal. Ordinary and familiar, but wide and deep. And vow, of course, vow. The prayer, supplication. The deepest impulse. Compassion dragon. Universal vow. Liz, so your new name is Rin So Ryo Getsu. Lotus window, luminous moon. Of course, that lotus is the flower of awakening, Not just because you work in the garden, but it's the sacred flower, which you wear on you right now. And window is opening, a place to see, to meet the world, to see through. That kanji also has another meaning, which is a graduate student, is one who studies at a high level. Luminous, of course, is bright. Light has to do with discernment. As the light appears, one can see more clearly. But the reflected light of the moon, female. Lotus window, luminous moon. You card on your. Ordinarily, I would have what's called a kobaku, which would have some charcoal that was lit and some chip incense. It would make a lot of people sneeze, probably. And so these are usually incensed 3 times. But in this case, we're doing it with the flowers, with the scent of the flower. And when you have such an offering, you carry just a little bit up, yeah, and then just hold it on your lap, each of you, and I'll tell you what you do next. And also just a little bit of form. The person who has the offering remains still. The person who doesn't have the offering bows. It's turned, so they will take it. Then the person who has the offering doesn't bow, and the person bows because they made the offering. Now you can place that on your lap, and you can take your name card. And you'll see that there's a bit of a verse on it. And you're going to, together in unison, repeat that verse 3 times. It will sound a little chaotic when they say their names because they're all saying a different name. But everything else will be the same.
Are you reading it or chanting it?
Oh, bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, please concentrate. Right, read them up.
Oh, bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, please concentrate your hearts on me. I, Kakuo Kichun, Buddha's disciple, receive this robe of 5 panels, each panel made from one long and one short piece. I will wear this robe of Buddha with the mind and body of its sacred meaning. O Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, please concentrate your hearts on me. I, Kakuo Kishin, Buddha's disciple, receive this robe of 5 panels, each panel made from one long and one short piece. I will wear this robe of Buddha with the mind and body of its sacred meaning. O Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, please concentrate your hearts on me. I, Kakuo Kishin, Buddha's disciple, receive this robe of 5 panels, each panel made from one long and one short piece. I will wear this robe of Buddha with the mind and body of its sacred meaning.
Now, if you will just, you don't have to untie anything, just slide the envelope out of the, you can put the card under the wrist and slide the envelope out. Remove your rakusu from the envelope. Leave it folded up. Place the rakusu on your head. This is the only time you'll be doing the robe chant with it out of the envelope. And anyone who would like to chant along, please do so. Robe chant.
Vast is the robe of liberation, a formless field of benefaction. Wearing the universal teaching, I realize the one true nature, thus harmonizing all being. Vast is the robe of liberation, a formless field of benefaction. Wearing the universal teaching, we realize the one true nature, thus harmonizing all being. Vast is the robe of liberation, a formless field of benefaction. Wearing the universal teaching, realize the one true nature, thus harmonizing all being.
Leave later. And son, help from the back if it's just.
Yeah. I like unconventional.
Check everybody. And now you would just place your things on your chair and just come and look through one now. It could be a standing now. We will now do the confession or repentance chant. And we're going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to say one line, and then you're going to say it in response. And we'll go through it 3 times. all my ancient twisted karma
All my ancient twisted karma
from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion,
from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion,
born through body, speech, and mind,
born through body, speech, and mind,
I now fully avow
I now fully avow
all my ancient twisted karma
all my ancient twisted karma
from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion,
from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion,
born through body, speech, and mind,
born through body, speech, and mind,
I now fully avow.
I now fully avow
You want to join in the third one? All my ancient twisted karma
all my ancient twisted karma
from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion,
from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion,
born through body, speech, and mind,
born through body, speech, and mind,
I now fully avow.
I now fully avow.
Pure as the full moon in the night sky, sentient and insentient beings alike. You have gone beyond the karma of body, speech, and mind, and have been freed from greed, hate, and delusion. From now on, and even after realizing Buddhahood, will you continue this truthful practice?
I will.
Will. Even after realizing Buddhahood, will you continue this truthful practice?
I will.
From now on, even after realizing Buddhahood, will you continue this truthful practice?
I will.
We have purified our body and mind. Now you may again receive the path of the precepts of the three treasures of kindness, which are the fruition of the beauty of human life. Today you were born into the family of the Buddhas. You are now a child, Buddha. Will you receive these precepts?
I will.
I will.
Will you receive these precepts?
I will.
Will you receive these precepts?
I will.
You say hi. Again, this is going to be call and response. I take refuge in Buddha.
I take refuge in Buddha.
I take refuge in Dharma.
I take refuge in Dharma.
I take refuge in Sangha.
I take refuge in Sangha.
We take refuge in Buddha before all being, immersing body and mind deeply in the way, awakening true mind.
We take refuge in Buddha before all being, immersing body and mind deeply in the way, awakening true mind.
We take refuge in Dharma
We take refuge in Dharma
before all being, entering deeply the merciful ocean of Buddha's way.
entering deeply the merciful ocean of Buddha's way.
We take refuge in Sangha
We take refuge in Sangha
before all being, bringing harmony to everyone, free from hindrance.
Before all being, bringing harmony to everyone, free from hindrance.
Now all being has completely taken refuge in Buddha.
Now all being has completely taken refuge in Buddha.
Now all being has completely taken refuge in Dharma.
Now all being has completely taken refuge in Dharma.
Now all being has completely taken refuge in Sangha.
Now all being has completely taken refuge in Sangha.
You have returned to your original nature, free from attachment and limited ways. From now on, awakening is your teacher. Buddha is your teacher. All beings are your teacher. Do not be fooled any longer. This is the path of mercy of all existence. O good disciples of Buddha, from now on and even after realizing Buddhahood, will you follow this compassionate path of the three treasures that I have just passed to you?
I will.
Even after realizing Buddhahood, will you follow this compassionate path of the three treasures?
I
will.
Will you follow this compassionate path?
I will.
Just a moment. In each of these it says, from now on and even after realizing Buddhahood, just underscoring our teaching from the week, there is no awakening without your practice. Your practice sustains and confirms and maintains wakefulness, aliveness. So even after realizing Buddhahood, you will continue to observe it. Now you receive the three pure precepts.
I will.
Once again, repeat after me. I vow to refrain from all harming.
I vow to refrain from all harming.
I vow to do what is life-giving.
I vow to do what is life-giving.
I vow to live and be lived for the benefit of all beings.
I vow to live and be lived for the benefit of all beings.
O good disciples of Buddha, abiding in these three pure precepts, from now on and even after realizing Buddhahood, will you continuously observe them?
I will.
Abiding in the three pure precepts, even after realizing Buddhahood, will you continue to observe them?
I will.
Will you continuously observe them?
I will.
Always 3 times just to make sure. Now will you receive the 10 grave precepts?
I will.
So again, I'll break it up. I vow not to kill
I vow not to kill
or harm that which is living.
or harm that which is living.
I take up the way of supporting life.
I take up the way of supporting life.
The form will be the prohibitory version and the inspirational version. I vow not to steal
I vow not to steal
or take what is not freely given.
or take what is not freely given.
I take up the way of taking only what is freely given
I take up the way of taking only what is freely given
and giving all that I can.
and giving all that I can.
I vow not to misuse sexuality
I vow not to misuse sexuality
or manipulate others seductively.
or manipulate others seductively.
I take up the way of engaging in sexual intimacy respectfully
I take up the way of engaging in sexual intimacy respectfully
and with an open heart.
and with an open heart.
I vow not to lie
I vow not to lie
and to refrain from deception.
and to refrain from deception.
I take up the way of speaking truthfully.
I take up the way of speaking truthfully.
I vow not to intoxicate mind or body,
I vow not to intoxicate mind or body,
of self or others.
self or others.
I take up the way of cultivating a clear mind.
I take up the way of cultivating a clear mind.
I vow not to slander
I vow not to slander
or allow silence to harm others.
or allow silence to harm others.
I take up the way of speaking to others
I take up the way of speaking to others
with openness and possibility.
with openness and possibility.
I vow not to praise self at the expense of others.
I vow not to praise self at the expense of others.
I take up the way of meeting others on equal ground.
I take up the way of meeting others on equal ground.
I vow not to grasp what I have
I vow not to grasp what I have
or be envious of what I don't.
or be envious of what I don't.
I take up the way of generosity and gratitude.
I take up the way of generosity and gratitude.
I vow not to harbor anger or ill will
I vow not to harbor anger or ill will
or seek vengeance or retribution.
or seek vengeance or retribution.
I take up the way of letting go of anger.
I take up the way of letting go of anger.
I vow not to disparage the three treasures.
I vow not to disparage the three treasures.
I take up the way of the Bodhisattva.
I take up the way of the Bodhisattva.
O good disciples of Buddha, abiding according to these 10 grave precepts, from now on and even after realizing Buddhahood, will you continuously observe them?
I will.
Abiding according to these 10 grave precepts, will you continuously observe them?
I will.
Even after realizing Buddhahood, will you continuously observe them?
I will.
Now receive the lineage documents of our ancestors. There are 3 documents: the traditional lineage of male ancestors, the official lineage of Soto Zen female ancestors, and I've asked each of them to make their own personal lineage of their spiritual ancestors, people known and unknown who have shaped their lives. The lineage documents are called Kechimyaku, which means the blood vein. In the original document with the male ancestors, there's Shakyamuni Buddha, the big Z circle, and then a line that goes down to Mahakavasha, all the teachers, every name in India. And then it goes to Bodhidharma, goes to China. And then Dogen brings to Japan, all the teachers of Japan. Goes down to Shukaku Shunryu, and then it goes down to Mel Weissman, and then it goes to Zenkai Blanche Hartman, and then it goes to Peg, and it goes to me, and then it goes all the way back up to Buddha. This is an unbroken circle that now you're part of because your name follows mine now from a lineage. I will caution you about unfolding these. Not that you can't, but hang on just a second. Just because we don't do this often, I hope it's okay that I'm narrating more things. You'll see on the front, there's a large red stamp. That's the blood vein. That's the temple stamp of the blood vein. It says blood vein on it. Around it, it says Bodhisattvas, Buddhas, ancestors, great precepts rightly transmitted. On the opposite side is the person's name. It says awakening together. That's the temple or the area where it's completely given. And then compassionate heart. My name is down here with two of my stamps. That's the teacher who transmitted it. Just so you know what it looks like on the outside. A lot of craft work. I got caught up and I forgot to say that on the female ancestor document isn't a line, it's a big circle. All the women are around the outside, and there are two places with little dots on the inside, and it says Chokobek and Zinke Hartman. And the inso is of course broken and isn't, and in that little space that opens, is their name. Lineage. But also like leg. You can put that in the envelope if you want. It's a way to hold it. You don't have to, but that's good. To not lose it anyway. At this moment, your birth has become fruitful. You have realized your human life. You have received Buddha's precepts, and thus all beings have entered Buddhahood. With your Dharma name and new clothing, with the lineage of Buddha's precepts, you were born into the family of the Buddhas. From now on, may you forthrightly perform the actions befitting your new family and live a life of great equanimity, free from greed, hate, and prejudice. All of you stand up. And there's a line up back here as if you were all going to do a bow, but not, just all four of you. Just in a line, like you're going to do a bow. Come on up to the mat. Now, it's not quite. So, there you go. There. Now, feel calm. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Look what you've done. This is a wonderful, auspicious, and joyful day for many reasons, this being one of them, ceremony today. It's been a beautiful road since whenever it was that you first invited me here, and that you all started coming, and somehow chose to cultivate this Sangha and this level of practice, which is really remarkable. A beautiful heart, a lot of sincerity, and great commitment. And each step along the way, as you deepen your practice, and we have ceremonies like this, it weaves and the Sangha together in new ways, and that we have people from other places and other traditions that encourage and celebrate this Sangha, this wonderful thing. I could go on and on, but I'd rather hear from other people. So if there are others who have something they wish to say as a brief congratulations, because you'll have time later on to speak, but sometimes it's nice to offer congratulations here. And when you do, speak up, making sure that the microphone, and you can maybe stand up when you make your congratulations, so it'll be easier for them to. So it's open for, and anyone online, of course, can do the same thing. Zach will be watching for you. John, Eric, and Jessica set on go.
Hi, guys. So wonderful to see you. Thank you so much. It's so inspiring seeing you take your vows. And of course, I was compelled to take them again with you. And so it's just very, very meaningful. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing.
Hi guys, congratulations. So glad we could join you. Just as you completed the sky opened up, it's raining, it's hailing, it's thundering, it's lightning. After days of kind of a drought, days and days of, rain here. So perfect time.
Congratulations. Known all of you for many years, and just really an honor to get to be here and get to celebrate what you're doing and your commitments. And so thank you for having me.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Ryan, Emily, CJ, Liz, thank you all. I was at the very first training that you created and kind of stumbled in and didn't know what I was getting into, and it has been a joyous journey to watch all of you just grow and take this on and give such a gift to all of us. So I just want to say thank you all so much. It's rock on. Yeah.
And I will just also say, having been at the first training when you brought Flint, you filled a place in my heart and in my life with your hard work and your earnestness and the Dharma and loving energy and longing that moves through you. And I know that will continue wherever you go, but I just hope and plan on being part of your future. And I know that a lot of people in this community, not just locally, but across the country and even the world, have been so deeply touched and open and found a path and a practice from your dedication, your commitment. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. I just wanted to echo what everybody is saying. It feels really inspiring. And like Jessica said, I was retaking the vows with you and really feel that you deepening your practice deepens all of our practice. And that's such a gift. So thank you.
And you get to remember the ceremony too.
I get to remember the ceremony.
Congratulations. I got to experience your compassion, Ryan and Emily, through the Minnesota Trauma Project, and you have done so much and continue to do so much. to bring compassion people whose lives have been affected by trauma. And all four of you, I'm inspired by your dedication and commitment and your compassion for all of us that you have shown by making sure that we have a rewarding retreat. And thank you for introducing me to Flint.
I have not ever taken Jukai. I admire the tenacity and persistence that is required to do that, and the compassion, and fragrant cloud and luminous moon and dragon fierce mofo and mountain
We can respond.
magic. Yes.
Magic.
That'll be the other one. So it's big stuff, right? So as you lean into all the Dharma gates and turn toward all the life messiness, may the ancestors be with you, and may the force be with you.
Also with you.
Sorry, I didn't see. I will forever think of you four as my hui mates, and those memories will live forever in me. And I didn't know any of you through the trauma project. Strangely, came through this in a kind of sideways way, per usual. But what was constant with each of you was that feeling of, I want a little bit of what he has or she has, how did I? And that kept me coming back. And then it extended out to this Sangha, and of course to Flint and my Kai. And so thank you for this unexpected delight in my life, and for what each of you bring to the table. And
I have just met you, and I've met you in a continuous practice setting with your teacher, and the beneficence of your practice and this community is really extraordinary. I took the precepts the first time in 1973, and I feel that birth again. It's a rebirth. We keep getting to start again. And so I welcome you to beginning again and again and again on the path.
Each of you have just changed my life. You're just each a beacon of light.
Congratulations. Thank you for your open-heartedness, your compassion, and your gift to this community.
Yes, congratulations. Little did I know, walking into the trauma project training a while ago, all that might follow. That knowing your hearts and the hearts that are drawn to you has been a blessing to me now and to all of my life that brought me here. And I feel so grateful to you and to your ancestors, to mine.
It's always an honor to witness a Jukai, no matter how closely I know anyone, no matter how what deeply I know them. I too relive it and have that re-experience that rebirth each time I witness it. And wearing this formless field of benefaction and seeing the physical manifestation, the lives that y'all have impacted is very moving. You honor me by doing this so publicly in front of us and by receiving this all together.
And I just have to echo, we couldn't do this without you and Anne and the various people that you help with the sewing. You really are marvelous, marvelous teachers. Your dedication, it sometimes for a lot of us, it seems like it's in the background, but if you've done the sewing, you know it's massive. And their dedication is really important. And you're taking the time to come and be here with your family is really important. So thank you. Well, we'll have time for celebration and cake later. For now, let's conclude the ceremony. There's a small verse at the end, I believe you have in your program, which I will invoke once, and then all of us will say it twice after that together. Like a cloud in an endless sky, like a lotus in muddy water, we live in the pure mind of Buddha. Like a cloud in the murky sky, like a lotus in muddy water, we live in the pure mind of Buddha. Like a cloud in an endless sky, like a lotus in muddy water, we live in the pure mind of Buddha. We offer the merit of this ceremony for the welfare of all beings everywhere. May all be relieved of suffering, free from fear, longing, aversion, and ignorance. And may we, together with all beings, realize the awakened way. And if you will stand, maybe from the week you will have remembered, or maybe it's on there, all Buddhas. All Buddhas, 10 directions, 3 times. All beings, bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Mahaprajna, Paramita.
We're gonna wrap up the retreat and do our final ceremony and evening service, and then there will be cake.